Hello and welcome to the Circle of Love and Light. I'm your host, Jane Mountrose, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Loola Mora, who is a fellow coach and healer, and you'll find her often here on the Circle. I'm very excited. We're going to start something new today that we'll be doing each month, and that is in the spirit of cooperating with the flow of life. We're going to usher in each month with a focus on the month ahead. So now we're ushering in the month of September we're going to have insights and an oracle reading, and we'll have a meditation. I'm not sure what it's going to be even because we haven't gotten there yet, but I'm sure it'll be great. And like I said, we're planning to do this at the beginning of every month. So I hope you'll be able to join us each time to focus on what you really want to receive from the month ahead. I think so much of this is about being more intentional with our lives and more aware of the opportunities that are unfolding for us. It's interesting to me, actually, where I live, we had, I think, our coldest night of the summer last night. I woke up kind of, and I could feel that energy. We're moving towards fall now. So it's very exciting. And before we begin, I want to first thank you for joining us. The Circle is here every week to light up our lives, to help us to heal, to grow, and to send out our light and love as beacons to the world. That is the overriding mission. And it's interesting that we'll be talking about September that way too, that we have a personal mission and we have also our larger mission, which is to help humanity in whatever way we feel like we want to do that. So I encourage you to say hello. I actually lost, I want to bring up the place where the notes are. And I see Barbara Clark is already here. Welcome,
Hi,
Babs.
Barbara.
So there's one more thing that I do each week as we start, and that's just to settle into the space together. So if you can close your eyes safely where you are, you might want to do that and just breathe. We can welcome in blessings of love and light from all of the beings who are supporting us from above. Those beautiful, loving angels and guides and masters. This is something that feels good any time of day, actually, because it brings you more into your body and out of your head. And of course, here and always, we want to be coming from the heart. So you can breathe that love into your heart. And you may even feel like tapping on it a little bit. If you tap it right in there in the center there, that's your thymus gland, which actually activates your aliveness too. It's a good thing to do once in a while. That's good. And with that, here we are. Welcome again. So I'd like to ask you, Lily, if you would like to start us out by sharing a little bit about why you think it's important to you to do this, and also about what is relevant in the month of September.
Wow. First of all, thanks, Jane, and hello to everyone that is joining us live and the ones that are going to see us later. And wow, that's a magnificent question. Because you use a word that I love, that is intentional. Like, I think I get excited thinking that I have this opportunity to visualize like the intention that I'm gonna have for this month. That gives me like motivation, but from a place of love, because I feel inspired, actually. So that's the reason I resonate a lot with that word of intentional, because if we see each month as an opportunity, when we have an intention, is like easier to come back in track and to see things from a bigger perspective. Sometimes we get really in the daily life, day by day, and like in that energy of the chaos, that is part of the like evolution, actually. And this time, I think I can feel the rhythm, that speed that we are like like as a collective, like experiencing. So
Right.
having an intention for the month give me that like direction, and connects me with that like higher plan, with that plan of my soul, and
Mhm.
as a collaborator actually from that big plan, as a collective.
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
that way, like coming back to that cord, that connects me with everything that is, with the creation, with love, with God, with the universe. So that's what the word intention brings to me. So in my like personal experience, my intention for this month is to create harmony, actually. I have been experiencing a lot of challenges, as I mentioned in other circles this year, and I'm feeling that I'm entering to a new moment in my like time in this year as a being. So I was like more in a moment of like integration and receiving and like digesting a lot, because I had a lot of challenges. And now I feel that I'm like ready to be in that action mode. So that's the intention of like acting with harmony, like that entering is harmonious. That's my intention.
Hmm.
Because in a way, I, as a healer and as a holistic life coach, I have different tools, but I share from my experiences too. And that's the reason people resonate with me in different moments of life, because we are experiencing similar things, or what
Right.
I experienced before is going to be a vehicle for helping that person. So I think that entering again in like my track of giving, because I have been experiencing so much. So I was giving to myself more than I was giving to others, for example, in some sessions or like in coaching or things. So I'm ready to that new moment.
Hmm.
That
Right.
feels good entering to fall season, because I used to feel that many other times I was like more in tune with the seasons that are happening in United States, and in California, actually. So we are entering to in the fall season, and I was like, when I was in summer, I was really active, and
Hmm.
this summer
Right.
I was active, but not really active in my like professional. And how can I? Yeah, like in my professional like area or something like that.
Hmm.
So yeah. So as a resume is my intention is harmony for this month.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks to
And
you.
I think it's a, when we look at this, we're looking we're looking at a lot actually. The first thing I want to mention, just to acknowledge everyone, is that I realize we're in the northern hemisphere, and in the northern hemisphere, in September, we're moving into fall, which is actually, if you're in the southern hemisphere, you're moving into spring. So you're in kind of an opposite stage of where we're in. We're in the stage of harvesting and evaluating what we have, first of all, planted, and then what we have been nurturing during this active season in the summer. So another point also that I want to make that I think is really important too, when we talked about intention, and just to be a little more specific, I think that we need to evaluate our lives from the perspective of who we really are, which is we are creators and ultimately co-creators with God and all of these beings of light who are supporting us in the higher realms. So we need to evaluate ourselves as creators rather than as victims. What we're moving away from, actually, where humanity, much of humanity still is is where we view ourselves as victims of circumstances that are larger than ourselves, rather than creators, co-creators with all of these magnificent beings from above who are empowered in a different way. It's not like we're we're moving into battling our way through and fighting our way to the top. We're empowering ourselves to be creators and acknowledge everyone else as creators too. So it's cooperation. Loola was talking a lot about cooperating. We're cooperating with the time of year, and we're cooperating with each other and with the divine. Because, well, Loola mentioned she's been going through some challenges, and with that, you could say also we have a theme probably for a year like this. Like for me, it's been a really wonderful year of growth. I see Sharon here. Welcome, Sharon. It's been a really wonderful year of growth and opportunities to present our work, I would say, from a higher perspective, to open more to that bigger picture. And that's been really wonderful. So now we're harvesting the results of that and seeing how it has really helped so many people, and just feeling very gratified by it. With that in mind, also, I want to mention one other thing. If you're looking at your year and you're thinking, well, I didn't do anything, I just, I'm a failure. It's not true. We never fail. Failure to me is an illusion. It is like you only can fail if you give up. And if you're here, you haven't given up on yourself yet. And there is a way, wherever you are, wherever each of us is, we're in the perfect place to take our next steps. And you may look at this year and say, well, gee, I didn't step up as a creator as much as I could have. Well, that's a learning. You can harvest that learning. No matter what you're feeling, if you feel you've done a lot and you're a great creator, that's great too. Barbara Clark, she says, fail is the first attempt in learning.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really beautiful too, because we're all going to, quote, fail in a certain way if we evaluate ourselves as if something doesn't go quite the way we expected, that it's a failure. From my perspective, I don't know that hardly anything goes the way I expected it to go.
Okay.
It's really how much can we flow too with whatever is occurring. And how can we see blessings in things that we hadn't even considered? And sometimes they're the greatest things possible, things we couldn't even imagine. They're so wonderful. We have to be open to it wherever it falls on the spectrum.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's exciting.
I love how you are saying it, because I think we, as humans, we have a tendency to get disconnected, and to start having, like, being part of that illusion, and like feeling down and or blue because we feel that we failed, but that's coming for that, like, ego and for that illusion, as you're mentioning,
Right.
So when we have how to go back to our essence, and feel whole again, and to connect to our heart and love, we really can feel that power that we have and how we can create. And we start, like, it's a practice, like we start being more in that, like, mode, or like that vibration, so it gets easier to see how we are entering that illusion,
Mm-hmm.
and we can see actually things as an opportunities, like obstacles become opportunities.
They're always opportunities for our growth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we are, like, experiencing them as humans, we feel that, like, that maybe is hard, but for sure after a moment of being in that, like, experience, you can see, and I'm talking about myself, I can see all those challenges as that opportunity for me to grow and and I if you ask me today if I will change a thing, I want,
Yeah, me
because
neither. Right.
exactly, because I thankfully have seen as my characteristic as a human that I'm here to experience. So everything is a win, everything is a victory. And I
Right.
think that's what you were saying about like seeing failure as an illusion, is because actually we enter in that vibration, but doesn't mean that it's true, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, what we're told, a lot of people who don't understand any of this will tell us things about ourselves that are not at all true. And we have to be able to reach into our own hearts to find the truth for ourselves. So
Absolutely.
I'm ready, I think, for the reading. And
Yes.
what I use this, if you've been here a lot, you already know this. But if you're new, I use this Angel Wisdom Tarot a lot. It's a special tarot deck that is related to the archangels. And I developed my own kind of a way to do it, which is starting with one of the cards from the 22 cards that are in the major arcana, which you could say are the big patterns, the archetypal patterns stages that we go through in our growth. And then the minor arcana, will come to that next. They are like the small patterns, or you could say the big secrets and the little secrets, which is kind of fun. So we're going to go for a pattern. We also, it's really important to be clear, very clear on what your intention is. So our intention is to have insights on what is of value for us collectively here as we go into the month of September. I'm going to draw a card, and this is interesting. The card that we have here is number 20 on the deck, which in this deck is called Renewal. So this is one of the cards that's close to the end of the process, which actually spirals back to the beginning anyhow. But it's interesting. It says, reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness, time to head in a new direction, clarity on your life purpose. In your heart, you know what to do. And the archangel who is representing himself here is Archangel Jeremiel. And Archangel Jeremiel is very much involved in our spiritual development, and specifically with our life plan, with following the plan that our soul came here to to experience in this life. And this is actually, September is a good time to evaluate, well, where am I in relation to really what my heart is calling me toward? How have I done with that this year or this summer? Of course, summer it's more outwardly oriented, so it may be things, outward growth, things that have been happening in the outer aspects of our lives, although it always includes our inner growth. So I'm going to just read a little bit here. It says, Archangel Jeremiel is known for helping you review your situation so you can choose the path you will take next. Discuss your thoughts and feelings honestly with those you love. The success that came with the Sun card now invites the question, what's next? This is a time for review and reflection. Where have you come from? Where are you now? Where do you want to go? This is your time. You can be anything you want to be. You can fulfill any dream. However, as with any quest, you'll need to be able to clearly visualize where you want to go. You can't just accidentally arrive there. You'll need a spiritual roadmap for the journey. Envision your happiest of futures. And then it says, bring the law of attraction to its zenith of power in your life. And when you have figured it out, then and only then take action. Until then, peacefully develop flashes of inspiration and original creative ideas. These epiphanies are part of your life purpose and are meant to guide you on your way to joy. And
Wow.
I think, yeah, it is. This is the time really to the harvest. We're evaluating what we have sowed and and nurtured this year, and see how that has worked for us as we turn inward, as moving into fall and winter, and we can focus more on that inward part, developing that inward part, so that when we enter into the next active year, we're ready for who knows what. something miraculous. I think that's a good intention, at least, to have, make it miraculous. So what do you think, Loola?
Wow, I think what a card we got.
Yeah.
So, perfect. It's perfect, and I feel really in tune with it. Actually,
Yeah.
I think it's like another way to express what I say in my words. Like, yeah, about intention and getting inspired, and like going back to your heart. Actually, the card mentioned it. Like, if you have, like, if you are not clear, go to your heart and
Right. Yeah, we're learning how to be creators too. That's part of it. Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like I don't know, like a young person, maybe as a kid, like when you are giving something, and you're trying to understand that you have that power, like maybe you receive a toy, but you are trying to understand how many things you can do with it. It's like, huh. So I really feel,
that's interesting.
I really feel how actually I'm really, because I'm part of the bigger plan and how nature is transforming and entering into that golden era, like that ascension, and all the things that are happening. I can feel as a part of that whole thing, of that union, how in my unique way I'm in that shift too. So I feel that I really receive that with open heart. It's like, as a toy, if I were the toy, I'm being able, someone like activated other like buttons that were there but that were not working. I feel that way. I feel lighter, and I feel all those powers that I used that were already there are like getting like turned on, and it's easier for me. So
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
great.
that way. I feel that way. So with the car, I was like confirming that, like, yes, oh yes, all that you feel is part of a reality.
Right. Yeah. So the next one is I'm trying to just see here. This is from the minor arcana. So these are, quote, the small patterns. And it's interesting. This is really it's called the 9 of Fire. And it says, protect what you have created. Be prepared. Never get up. Never get up. Never give up. Ask your angels for help. The journey through the fire is one of working hard to make your dreams and passions come alive. It's only natural that you'd want to protect what you have created against loss or prevent it from being diminished. That reminds me of squirrels. They take what you've harvested, make sure you don't lose it. Of course, it's wise to ask your angels every day to help you protect yourself and the people and the things you love. Still, sometimes it's up to you to do the hard work of defending your magical creations. Have courage, stay positive, and work with the law of attraction. And to me, that is the first part of that, then, is actually evaluating what it is that you're harvesting, that you want to protect, that you want to maintain. I think that a lot of times, this is something I wanted to mention too, is a lot of times we actually don't acknowledge our successes. we're so busy trying, thinking we have to move ahead, we don't take time to celebrate our successes. And
Wow,
how
so
can
true.
we, if that, what that leads to is that we don't even acknowledge that we've had them many times. We don't recognize that we've had successes because we're so busy. And also we're so busy looking at the flaws. It's interesting. I think we're Lula and I and a lot of people who join us here, among other things, we're healers. And as healers, we're looking at, well, what needs to be healed now? But it actually, we have
Wow,
to be very
yes.
careful not to get into a what's wrong with me now mode. And because this is the harvest, is the time to look at what's right with you. What has been right with you this year? What have you done maybe for the first time that you never dared to do before? There's
So
so
loving
many
words.
golden. I love that card. I like both of them. They go together really well.
I think the same. Actually, yeah. It's like one is part of the other, like they're holding hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and I love what you're saying because yeah, that's a tendency that we have, and actually that I used to have. I'm seeing myself like celebrating my victories more frequently, and I'm gonna share something like very quick, and is this tendency of seeing my victories like in the past was more like from my productive perspective. So what's easier to see myself not having any good results or something like that. But thankfully, I I am today in a place that I can see my victories in many other scenarios, and actually really in that growth, and about loving myself, and how I have been like walking my journey, like my spiritual journey, and not from that place of validation or my ego or the things I have and comparing myself, it's like that doesn't work anymore for me, it's like I'm in another moment. So that those things are not anymore part of my evaluations, and I'm being able to feel really my heart how I have been experiencing things that put me where I am in the perfect moment, because I'm part of a bigger plan, and how being myself is giving my, like, is what I'm looking for the word, how I'm being part of that big plan, being myself. I'm already giving a contribution.
Right.
You know, so
Right. We
yeah,
can't
it's
contribute if we're not allowing ourselves to be ourselves.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Not only like feeling that if I create that amount of money, or if I have that job, or like that car, or like it's a completely different way of living, and feeling really whole and complete, because I feel that connection with my soul, my heart, and with my soul family, and with my life purpose. So it's completely different. So
Right.
my pictures can be that I am very loving with myself in a day, and that I'm being compassionate with myself. So I'm being able to see things deeper.
Yeah. 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 That Barbara Clark said they are both part of the whole. The things, I think the things
Exactly.
that we would like to repeat, the things that we wouldn't like to repeat, um, they're both part of it. We learn a lot of times, we learn by seeing things maybe about ourselves that we are ready to change, or things that we've created that we would prefer not to create again. Just being clear on the preference and continuing. It's interesting, both of the cards mention the law of attraction. When I
Yes.
think one important aspect of that, I think for me, is understanding that everything has a positive purpose. So whatever it is that happened, see it as positive. See that your next step as being positive. because if you see it, like things are going, if you say things are going down the tubes, like they say, they will. I mean, that you're inviting that. I'd rather invite magic and miracles and more love and light and collaboration and support and all of that, things to be grateful for. It's a different, you're actually in a different reality when you do that. You're in the reality of a creator rather than the reality of a victim.
Exactly.
Yeah. So with that, it's actually perfect timing for the meditation. And something did come to me with Archangel Jeremiel, who also is one of my favorites. I have quite a few favorites, and he's among them. I think in relation to the circle and those of us who see ourselves as light workers and spiritual healers and way showers, people who want to make a positive difference in the world, he is just a wonderful supporter, and we're going to connect with him now. So we can start as we did actually at the beginning. If you're in a place where it's safe, to close your eyes, and only if, and just close your eyes. And again, knowing you're supported by many, many beings of love and light. Sometimes I think that from what is indicated to me, there are many more than we recognize, that there are legions of angels and guides and masters around us, many, many beings of light who are supporting us, especially those of us who are supporting the planet at this time of the Great Awakening. So just open to the love and light that is surrounding you, just requesting them to bless you with outpourings of this beautiful, beautiful love and light, divine light, and just feeling that in your body and all around you. Just your energy, feel that ball of light around you. You can fill the whole thing with it. And also your body, inviting that love and light into all of the cells of your body. Asking any energy that is not your own to leave your space now and send it back where it came from, so you can have more of your own energy. And then magically filling in those spaces with more love and light. And similarly, we leave bits of ourselves in other times and other places, just inviting all of that energy, all of your own energy that can come back to you now in this moment. Just invite it back. I always feel more energy coming back. And I'm believing now that when we do this, we're actually inviting more of that greatness within us to come into our awareness every time we do this. So that this is a wonderful growth element too. And you may feel that sturdiness of just being in your body in this moment with your own energy and opening to that love you hold in the center of your chest, in your heart area. And allowing that love to radiate out from your heart too. Feeling lighter. And we're going to take a very special journey today. We're going to do a slightly different one than we often do. And I'm going to invite you to imagine now that you can go to the top of the world. So you're standing on top of the world with the whole of the universe around you, all of the stars and planets, the most ethereal, beautiful light and love surrounding you. And here we are, we're opening to more of our greatness. And it's a time now where we can celebrate the harvest that is coming for us this year. And in doing this, I also want to invite in now Archangel Jeremiel. And I feel also Archangel Metatron wants to come. Archangel Metatron is for me like a guardian angel. He is one of the angels who is said to be closest to God, a very, very bright light. And he's here because he's holding out, and this is what he has been doing every time I see him recently. He's holding out in his hand a beautiful diamond, a glowing diamond of light. And the one that he's holding out for you is the light that is you. And he's asking you to accept that. It's your choice. If you want that from him, you can just accept that beautiful diamond of light and hold it, or hold it in your hand, hold it in your heart, whatever feels right to you, to acknowledge that greatness within you and his appreciation of you for everything that you are doing to support the love and light of the planet. And with that, he steps back so Archangel Jeremiel can come forward. And I often experience Archangel Jeremiel as a being of amethyst light. He's said to be related to the color violet and the stone amethyst. And when I see him, I just imagined being surrounded by sparkles of violet light, from the deepest shade of violet to beautiful pale shades of lilac to sparkling white light, just being surrounded by all of those beautiful amethyst colors, and allowing those to penetrate into your body. And violet also is the light, it's the highest frequency of light that we can perceive as humans. And it's very, very clearing. So there's Saint Germain, the violet flame. This is similar. Just inviting that violet light to clear away anything that's ready to be transmuted. This is a transmutation of energy. It's a divine gift from source to transmute, as in alchemy, lead to gold, or just light that's holding, or energy that's holding us down, to transmute it into brilliant light that lifts us up. And Archangel Jeremiel invites us to accept this so that we can be on our soul's best path, the path to our brightest future. So you might imagine yourself on a path on top of the world. Your past is behind you and your future is ahead of you, actually heading out into the stars in this case. And it's just the perfect path for you, the most joyful, the most magical, the most mystical, the most miraculous. And just feel yourself in that place of opening to the divine in you. And from that place, acknowledging all of the things in yourself that you've been nurturing this year that you're now preparing to harvest and to hold. To accept and acknowledge. Acknowledging that beauty within yourself. This energy, the energy of being on your soul's, you could say, most fruitful path, is also the path that makes you feel most alive. And your heart knows where what that is, what direction to go in to create that sense of being fully alive. So you can open fully to that now, and just maybe there's a message for you now from Jeremiel. the sense I have is that he's wanting us to know that we have far more greatness within us than we could possibly imagine. And actually, at this time of the Great Awakening, it is time for us to open to being masters in the making, you could say, to being fully who we are. And if you feel like you're ready, you can just let him know, because he's here to support you. And you can stand in that light of your own greatness. And so now we're ready to come back, and we can bring our greatness back. This is something we think, well, the meditation's done, now I have to go back to my old self. I invite you to imagine coming back to where you started and bring more of that greatness with you. And that understanding of yourself as a magnificent being who is so loved. Feeling yourself in your seat now more firmly. Also grounded to Mother Earth, who is also very loving. And expressing our gratitude to Jeremiel, to Metatron, to all the beings who are supporting us, and to Mother Earth. Whenever I express gratitude toward Mother Earth, I feel light coming up, that love of her expressing great gratitude to me. You may feel that too. So if we ever feel like we're not supported, this is the illusion. The illusion is that we're separate and alone, when actually there's so much support for us. And we can come here with the realization of that as we walk forward on our path. So, and breathe in more active energy. Now we're returning to our normal waking states. Again, staying grounded and holding on to any truth, any brightness that you can bring back from this. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Wow. That was miraculous.
I've mentioned this before, but something that I've gained really from connecting with the archangels, which I do pretty much daily now, mostly. Not it's not like you better do it today. It's mostly most days. If I don't have time, then I don't have time. But most days, there is so much love, and the depth of the love, I think, goes beyond our ability to even fathom it. That's my experience, and I think the gratitude I feel, it's so much greater than anything I've ever felt before, because I think my depth of understanding of what's really here for us is so much greater. And this is available to everybody.
Oof. I'm still like getting a lot. I received a lot of information during the process today. I was like, was so beautiful, Jane. Wow, I'm still like, wow, thank you. And a lot of information, and the images I got were amazing. Actually, I was able to feel as a crystal, and to reaffirm that we are entering to that moment, as a like collective, we're entering to the crystal. I don't know how to say it in English, but it's yes. And I felt at the beginning when actually you were guiding us to feel the presence of Metatron, and to see him with the I forget
Jeremiel?
No, Metatron with
the diamond, the sparkling diamond.
The diamond, exactly. I was surrounded with white light, and that was exactly the moment when I started feeling that I was a crystal, and how the light was coming to me and shining through me, like
through you
being,
through
yeah,
you to the world. Right. And that's what we're
exactly,
doing. That's
exactly. And
exactly
that's
what we're doing.
actually what we are doing,
Mhm.
and that's the part of the transformation and the changes that we're having, because we're getting activated in that higher frequency, so that
Mhm.
means that there are a lot of things that are no longer serving us, that is part of the past, because are not in that high vibration mode. So a lot of things are gonna fall,
Mhm.
like economic methods, the way we eat, everything is changing, because we are really getting in that vibe, like we are getting synchronized with that vibration. So I
Mhm.
felt that completely, how I was like actually see myself as the crystals, and how all the light was coming to me, and how I was like being a vehicle, but anchoring it and shining through me that light to others. And we all are that,
Mhm.
and we're
Yeah.
part of all of that whole. And then feeling the presence of Jeremiah was amazing too, because I felt how like a tornado of light was cleaning all the things that I know I don't need anymore
In your head.
in all my body, all my
Yeah.
head, but I was
Mhm.
already
Yeah,
like a
he's
crystal.
known he focuses on the 6 and 7 chakras and really helping us to open to our intuition and clear our heads out.
Beautiful. Yeah, and he started there, and then he was like woo, until like the end. And then I was seeing how my crystal was shining light, more light, and was brighter, and was really doing every word that you were saying. And my message was like, shine your light, shine your light. And you
Mhm.
are, as a Jane, you are being ready for that. You have been working, and not only you, because we all are one. So when you do your job and your work, you are helping me, because we are all connected. When you cut yourself in your suffering, I'm suffering. So we all are part of the whole. So it was so beautiful seeing myself that I was already shining, but after like having that help from Jeremiah, how I was shining brighter. So beautiful,
Wonderful. Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you so much, and thanks to
Mhm.
Metatron and Archangel Jeremiah, because and that was a legion of people there. Not people but beings.
Beings,
I
right? Beings of light.
I saw like yeah, many other beings, completely different than myself, and but all being part of the whole, and was beautiful.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome. I'm feeling actually like we don't need another card. I think the message was pretty clear.
I'm
Just
feeling the
move
same.
forward with
I
your light.
actually, yeah, because I think that actually I got the message that invite me actually is work your light, shine your light was the message for me. And yeah, I think that is better to allow to integrate all that information that we got. And actually in my case, there's a part of myself that is saying like, oh, look for more, but I really know feel the same than you. I got so much information that maybe is like, yeah, is that part of myself that want to eat more, but I don't need it.
Right. Well, if you're feeling a state of connectedness like that, and I feel like that was our message is to take in the things that are representative of our greatness and take what we take what you've been given
Hmm. Yes,
like a squirrel and keep it.
you're so
take
right.
take that diamond and keep it for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, go and enjoy
Right.
it.
Yeah, Barbara Clark says, so beautiful, much love and light. And she also said, in relation to having more, like more, she said, otherwise it's too much. You can only drink so much.
I
And it
agree.
is really, we have to digest it. I think,
Yes,
it's
that's a great
interesting
way.
with healing, and I think activating, opening to more. Some people think, well, you get rid of what you didn't need and you're done, but you're not. What you need, you're changing. You have to integrate what that is that's changing. How is it that you're changing, and what does that mean? What does that mean in the depths of your being and your heart? Because
I agree.
it always is. It's always the heart. It always comes back to the heart
I
and
agree.
to love. Once you get that, then it's pretty simple. There isn't that much more to understand. And then, like you said, and I think this is an important point too, is when we hold that light, it just naturally radiates out from us. Being a beacon of love and light, it's not like that's hard to do. You don't have to sit and, like you're constipated and somehow send it out. It just is. It is. You just are. And I always, like, often, usually bring out the planet at this point.
Where is mine?
And
Nice
if
to
you
be
just
here.
imagine the planet as we become brighter and more people join us, all the energy around the planet becomes brighter, right? It has to, because we're radiating out more light, more love. And it gets to the point where it's just saturating everything. And there's no place to go. No place
Yeah.
to hide from the light. That's what we want, is no place to hide from the light. So everybody can be loved. Everybody can be nurtured and fed, and no war. And the planet can be healthy and vibrant. It's all there for us. We just have to be there for it.
Yes. And everyone is in its own process and is okay. It's part of the plan.
Right.
We don't need to rush. Things are happening, and everyone is synchronized with that. And that's
Right.
part of the wholeness, no? That everyone is in different speeds, and it's perfect. It's okay.
Right. Wherever you are, it's perfect. And your next step is right in front of you.
Exactly. And we're sending love to this beautiful planet, to Gaia,
Right.
from
Yeah.
inside and outside. I love that you always bring it. Actually, I was looking for mine, and then someone helped me to find it and brought it. And actually the sensation, we I invite people to maybe to look for something that is an element that can, like, focus that love, and light, and share it, like, is makes us feel how powerful we are, and the
Right.
expansion, so
Right.
absolutely.
Another thought, looking ahead toward the end of the year, we we turn inward, and we will start the next year on the energy we end this year with. So if we can hold this understanding of who we really are and stand in that as we go into the winter months, the months when we're more inwardly focused, we'll come out next spring as just real beings of light. So we're in a perfect place now for all of that. And I think it's fun to look ahead like this to September, and to seeing what we want to reflect on in this month ahead, what the meaning is for it.
I'm so inspired right now. Like, thank you. The circles are a great opportunity, to keep being in that light and shine brighter. And I love to have everyone from the circle with us. This is a beautiful community, and we all matter, as you say, all the time, and we
all are
all are
equally
seeds.
magnificent too. That's another
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly. We all are part of the plan, and that's the reason we are here, you know. So it's so beautiful when you really integrate that part of I am, you
Right.
know.
Yeah. So amazing things are happening. Would you like to tell us more about how people can find out about you and what you're doing, Lula?
Yes, thanks. Yeah, people can find me or connect with me in social media, Instagram or Facebook, or actually in YouTube. But in YouTube, it's gonna be like in Spanish, my channel. Uh, Lula, I write it with two O's, so it's Loola. So you can find me as Loola Mora in any of them, and or in my webpage that is lulamora.com, LOOLAMORA.com.
Right.
And yeah, I would love to connect. And I have some very good things coming, and but you have very good descriptions on my page about
Wonderful.
what I'm doing right now.
Great. Thank you. Sharon Williamson sent us 3 hearts.
Hey,
Lots of hearts. And Barbara said, so lovely as always to be with the circle. So we thank you, Barbara. Um, before we close, I want to mention we talked about this last week. Philip was here with me. We just finished a free ebook that is, we want this to go out to the world. It's called The Solution. And it's the solution: make a difference and change the world with the power of love. Um, our goal is to have people, I know probably the people who are listening to this we're talking to the choir here. What we would really like is to have this book shared with as many people as you know who could maybe benefit from understanding what they can receive with love, which also, in addition to all of the spiritual benefits, it's great for your health and longevity and everything. So it's all in the book. And you can access the book at getthesolution.org, just like it sounds, getthesolution.org. So we really invite you, if you possibly can, share the message with anyone. This is also a good time of year with the election coming up and so much division. If we can bring people back more in a spirit of kindness and love and support of one another, that would be so wonderful. You can learn more also about the circle at circleofloveandlight.org. And you can support the circle first by sharing the solution book. That would be wonderful. You can also like our page on Facebook, which is facebook.com/awakenings circle. That's awakening with an S, awakenings circle. You can share this video with your friends on Facebook. Just click share and the message will go out even further. If you want to review the one from last week where we talked about the book, also, it is on that page on Facebook, facebook.com/awakenings circle. You can also invite your friends to join you in the circle and enjoy it together. Enjoy it together and talk about it, share insights, and learn and grow and thrive. So that's about it for today. The last thing that I always do is ask to send all of that love and light out
hmm.
to the week ahead so you can have a wonderful, loving light week. And remember, you can always breathe in. Just invite the beings of light to bless you with love and light. It's there every moment of every day for you. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful week.
Bye.
Bye bye.